Everyone wants results. Few respect the effort. But what if I told you, effort isn't just work, it's the price you pay to become someone new? How much is effort worth, if you truly understand its value? Live like a winner. Stop thinking like someone who's already lost. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they live like they've already lost. They move through life expecting rejection, doubting themselves, and calling it being realistic. But that mindset becomes a cage. Living like a winner isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up with belief. Belief that you're allowed to try, to fail, to grow, and still move forward. Winners fall too, but they don't stay down. If you think like someone who's already lost, you'll destroy your chances before life ever does. So stop rehearsing failure in your mind. Speak, act, and move like someone who hasn't given up on themselves. The world won't hand you confidence, you build it. And once you do, life starts treating you differently. If you never step out of your comfort zone, you'll stay stuck in mediocrity. Comfort feels safe, but it's also where dreams quietly die. You tell yourself you'll try one day, but that day never comes. Because comfort whispers, you're fine where you are. And over time, fine becomes empty. Greatness doesn't grow in familiar places. It grows where you're uncomfortable, uncertain, and still willing to show up. That first step out of your comfort zone, it won't feel good. It might feel terrifying. But that's exactly where change begins. Most people stay average, not because they aren't capable, but because they refuse to be uncomfortable. They choose easy over growth, safety over purpose. But you don't have to stay stuck. Your life won't transform when things get easier. It transforms when you get braver. And bravery starts the moment you step outside what's familiar and do it anyway. Thoughtful. You don't need to feel ready. You need to move. Clarity comes from action, not overthinking. Most people wait. They wait for the perfect timing, the right mindset, or some magical sign that says, now you're ready. But here's the truth. That feeling rarely comes. Because readiness isn't something you wait for. It's something you build through action. Clarity doesn't come from sitting still and thinking about all the possibilities. It comes when you move, when you try, when you stumble, when you learn. Every step forward gives you feedback, and that feedback shapes your path. Overthinking just feeds fear, but movement builds confidence. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't even need to feel brave. You just need to start, even if it's small, even if it's messy, because the people who grow aren't the ones who wait. They're the ones who move and figure it out along the way. The pursuit of perfection is the best excuse for never starting. Perfection sounds noble. We convince ourselves we're just waiting until everything is just right. But what we're really doing is stalling. Perfection becomes the prettiest excuse for never starting at all. The truth is, you'll never feel fully ready. Your first version won't be perfect. It's not supposed to be. Growth happens through the imperfect, the messy, the in progress. But perfectionism keeps you stuck in planning mode, where it's safe, controlled, and risk-free. Unfortunately, that's also where nothing actually happens. Starting is scary. Putting yourself out there is vulnerable. But you don't grow by waiting. You grow by doing. Let go of the need to impress and embrace the courage to improve. Stop chasing perfect. Chase progress. Done will always beat waiting. The moment you stop saying, annoyed, it's their fault, is the moment you start becoming who you're meant to be. Blaming others is easy. It protects your ego. It gives you a way out. But every time you say, it's their fault, you hand over your power, your ability to grow, to change, to take control. Taking responsibility isn't about blaming yourself. It's about realizing that even if something isn't your fault, how you respond is your responsibility. That shift changes everything. Because when you stop pointing fingers, you start pointing forward. Growth begins when you say, this is on me now. I choose what happens next. That's when life starts to move differently. Because you're no longer stuck in the past, waiting for someone else to fix it. Victimhood feels safe, but it keeps you small. Ownership feels hard, but it leads to freedom. And the day you stop saying, it's them, is the day you start becoming you. If you want to achieve something great, discipline is the vehicle. And emotional balance is the fuel that keeps you going. Everyone wants to achieve something great, but talent alone won't get you there. Motivation fades, inspiration comes and goes. What truly carries you forward is discipline. Discipline is doing what matters, even when you don't feel like it. It's showing up on the days when everything in you wants to quit. It's not glamorous, and it's often invisible, but it builds results, quietly, consistently, day by day. And just as important is emotional balance. Because you can have the best plan and the strongest discipline, but if your emotions control you, you'll burn out. One bad day will throw you off track. One doubt will make you give up. That's why greatness requires more than just hard work. It requires emotional stability. Learn to ride the waves without drowning in them. Learn to keep your head calm when everything around you shakes. Discipline drives the vehicle, but emotional balance? That's what keeps it running. You can choose to rise with purpose, or wait until life knocks you down to teach you the same lesson. Life has two ways of teaching you. One, you rise with intention, face your fears, and grow by choice. Or two, you wait until life forces you to change through pain. Both paths will shape you, but one puts the power in your hands. The other drags you through it when you're not ready. Growth is coming either way. The question is, will it be chosen or will it be forced? When you wait too long, life will eventually wake you up. Through loss, regret, failure, or sudden realization. That's life's way of saying, you're capable of more, whether you like it or not. But what if you didn't have to wait? What if you could rise before the fall? Living with purpose doesn't mean you have it all figured out. It just means you're moving, with awareness, with courage, with intention. Because when you choose to rise on your own, life doesn't have to knock you down to get your attention. The longer you avoid fear, the bigger it becomes. Annoyed. Face it, and it starts to vanish. Fear doesn't disappear when you ignore it. It grows, quietly, in the background. The more you avoid it, the more power it gains, until it shapes your choices, your voice, your future. We often think fear is the enemy, but in truth, fear is just a signal. It's pointing to the edges of your potential. That uncomfortable feeling, it's not a stop sign, it's a doorway. But here's the trick. Fear only grows in the dark. When you shine light on it, when you face it directly, it starts to shrink. Not because it's not real, but because you've stopped feeding it with silence. You don't have to defeat fear to move forward. You just have to stop running from it. Because once you step toward it, you'll realize most of what you feared was just a shadow, not a wall. So stop giving fear the power to decide your story. Face it, and take that first step. That's where freedom begins. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me today. If this resonated with you, hit like and follow. I've got more thoughts, truths, and stories coming your way.